What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday, September 21st. We are in the second week of football, so we're going to talk all about it here on the Wire Sports Podcast, and it starts right now.
Meow. I'm going in, it's first and 10. I'm a legend boy, a champion. They can't match the flows, the X's and O's. I'm breaking the code, true devastation about to unfold. They calling me Derek by the way I roll. Bet you never ever seen a pro this cold. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I mix with I am Mike and the great Ali. I'm a running back, believe me, baby. I fathered the game, call me Daddy Brady. I'm like that, try be like this. Sammy Sosa, that boy don't miss. It's the return of the greatest. Any way you name it, I'm everybody's favorite. I'm bringing the pain and bringing the fire. Hey, stay tuned, it's going down to the wire.
What's going on, fellas? Welcome back to the Wire. I spoke way too early last week. We're not in a new we are in a new season. We're at the beginning of season 8. I don't know what was going on, but welcome back to season 8. We are all the way up in the football season. How are you guys doing before we dive in?
Doing good, brother. Ready to go.
Feeling good.
Good, man. Great to see you all.
Campfire.
Yeah, it kind of does. You want to tell a scary story about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the lack of TJ? Once upon a time.
Yeah.
One of the greatest.
Black and gold.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to try something new this season. Because of the want for college talk, we're not going to dive in wholeheartedly, but we're going to do each of our player and or team of the week, just a highlight from this week from college football. Whoever wants to kick it off, and I brought one as well, so whoever wants to get us going, college football week 3, what you got?
I'll kick it off. I'm just going to say that the Georgia Bulldogs look outstanding as the number one ranked team in the nation. They're just holding it down the way they're supposed to. They're beating the competition, whether it be Oregon or, Samford. It doesn't matter. We're mowing them down. Our schedule, comparably to everyone else, isn't as strong as some other people, but it's still the SEC. But I like Georgia.
All right. Yeah, Georgia is a scary team. So I think everybody.
Yeah, Trey missed my last week. We were talking about the quarterback. I'm a big fan. I'm just going to say, let's give a shout out where a shout out is due to Ohio State. Ranked 3rd, going to do well, find a way to lose a game, and fail miserably like they always do. So shout out for staying 3 now in the meantime. Let's go, baby. When you get some real competition, then we'll see.
Oh, I knew that was too good to be true.
Right.
I'll save my comment for my go-around. Go ahead, Sahe.
As far as college this week, I didn't know there wasn't really any eye popping games for me. This is around the time where it's just like, all right, the good teams are playing shitty teams, and like nobody really cares about those games. They need to find a way to eliminate those games and stop wasting our time. Let's get the best of the best playing the best of the best week in and week out. This is college football, for Christ's sakes. But I guess those smaller schools have to make money, and you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? They make big money playing those big schools, so they got to have them. So let me give my shout out to Appalachian State for being the thorn in the top schools side.
Never miss an App State game.
Right. You never know what they're going to pull off. They just got a winning mentality down there.
If you missed the tremendous Hail Mary catch from the App State game, then that's what you get for missing an App State game. Go check it out. There was a fantastic Hail Mary bounce off the helmet catch for a touchdown.
If I was a major school, I wouldn't even. We're not scheduling y'all. Right? Y'all ain't about to embarrass us on national TV. You don't work too hard.
You see, Michigan ain't played them since State. You know what I'm saying? Since they lost to them.
I want them to go against Alabama one and just see what happens.
Oklahoma. Yeah. Well, I'm going to go back to the Buckeyes-Rockets game. I will just chime in quickly and say, although I agree, and we've always agreed on this, Ohio State doesn't have the schedule to be ready for the big games, I don't think. However, that offense is set to a freaking T. The weapons, CJ Stroud, all of the offense is just looking fire. So I hope they do meet their match in a couple of these games so that they can be prepared for a postseason. But we'll see. But that's not my player or team of the week. Honestly, I'm gonna give him. He was the MAC player of the week. I'm gonna give him NCAA player of the week. In that game against Ohio State, Daquan Finn, the quarterback for Toledo, this man is a monster. I'm not saying that Ohio State has the best defense in the NCAA. Maybe one of the best offenses, arguably, but not the best defense. However, they have been shutting down their opponents, and Daquan Finn managed 2 touchdowns by the air for 153 yards. Guys, he had 70 yards rushing and a 23-yard rushing touchdown. He was just unpredictable, unstoppable. They played him as long as they could until the score just kept running up and there was really no point for him. And he just looked so disappointed. He's like, I scored all 3 of our touchdowns.
Can you imagine trying to play a decent game and you look up at the scoreboard and it's 77-21?
Yeah.
70. Like, I respect what you're doing, Justo, but come on, man. You can't talk about shout out to the guy who got his butt whooped by 50 points. Come on, man.
Well, he was
out of here.
He played his heart out.
He did. And honestly, if he had a different team, this is what I'm saying, he shouldn't be in Toledo until the end of his college career. I think everybody should be. It's probably, honestly, he did that performance in the shoe. He's probably on Ohio State's radar.
Yeah, can you imagine? He threw for a whopping 55% accuracy. Blistering. What a guy, man. Get out of here.
Did you see him play the rush?
He had 97.9 QBR, though. That's pretty good.
Of course he did. Of course he did. QBR don't mean nothing anymore.
Oh, man.
We'll get into it. 158.3 coming up.
Yeah.
In the NFL, multiple quarterback.
For sure. Yeah, no, I don't know. Of course I got shot down by Richie. But anyway, Daquan Finn, shouts out.
I'm going to, bro. Like, come on. Shout out, bro. Even though your team sucked and, you look like, the golden nugget and the turd that was Toledo. You tried your best, man. Bless his heart.
Well, at least he gets to hold on to that MAC player of the week.
That's right. He gets MAC player of the week and Justo's college player of the week. Let's go. Good job, buddy.
What's more important? Okay,
that's what's important.
Let's move on to the NFL. We are going to do our good old pass play, and we just added last week one shot. So pass or play or one shot. We're going to go through the schedule and discuss some of these crazy games that happened and some of these not so crazy games that happened. We're going to start off with the Chiefs and the Chargers from Thursday Night Football. My class got rescheduled and I was like, I don't ever watch these Chiefs or the Chargers, and I was not one to go to class. Guys, ended up Chiefs on top 27-24, pretty crazy matchup. What is your take? Do you want to pass, play, or one shot it?
I mean, we can pass or play. Sorry.
You gonna play it? I was gonna say, I don't know. I've 2 tough opponents that it was gonna go field goal either way.
Yeah. Well, I just briefly, the reason why I want to play it is twofold. This was, teams in the AFC West. This would have been a big statement game, but to me, this is the big statement game for Kansas City. Right? We've been talking about it over and over. Well, Cheetah got lost, Tyreek, and they were saying, basically everyone was like, did Tyreek make Patrick? Patrick make Tyreek? We'll get into Tyreek later. But what we're seeing is the Chiefs are still a juggernaut. They're very successful offensively, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire did a great job. Great job. So, what you're seeing is they're absolutely able to adapt and play a solid game. This was a great game. I was very excited watching it. Honestly, I'm a big Chargers guy. I love Justin Herbert. So I was rooting for them just because of Justin Herbert. But, what a game. This is what I want to see on Thursday night. Usually when I think of Thursday night, I think it was just like, that's going to suck. But this was, the game to set the week off right. And it was fun to watch, man. Fun game.
I agree with you on that. It was fun to watch. I would just say, I just think for these two caliber teams, that it's just a little early just.
Oh yeah, we can't make anything of it. I
right, you know what I mean?
agree with you.
But
Yeah,
that's why I was like, okay, we all knew that it was going to be a tight game. It's Herbert versus Mahomes. Similar offense. I would say similar kind of offenses. The way that they can gun it down the field, big arms, defenses look legit. But I mean, this is kind of what I expect. It was a great Thursday game, but it's kind of what I expected the first week. I mean, in week 2.
Sahe, what'd you make of the Chiefs and the Chargers?
In this game, really, it was a back and forth battle. I don't think the Chiefs are what we're making them out to be right now. I think they got exposed a little bit. Justin Herbert outplayed Patrick Mahomes for the most part. He just had the one mistake, the one pick six that really changed the whole game. Herbert was playing hurt. He got hit real bad and he had to come out the game for a play and came back, and he really wasn't the same.
Oh no! Did the perch?
Is Sahe okay? Sounds like he was gonna die. That's some sort of tornado alarm.
Amber.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry. Amber alert.
Amber alert.
Amber alert. Sorry about that, but I think Justin Herbert outplayed Patrick Mahomes for the most part. It was a defensive struggle for most of the game. They were back and forth. It's just the pick six sealed the deal for the Chargers, and I think this is a game where these two teams are going to, of course, we're going to have to keep our eye on them. But I think both teams can hold their head high coming out of this hard-fought game. Patrick Mahomes, he's getting it around to everybody as far as receptions. But we're going to have to see, right? It's like you guys said, it's early. But I feel like the Chargers exposed the Chiefs a little bit.
I'll tell you one thing. My biggest takeaway, and I was just kind of enjoying the game. I didn't really care who won it. That tackle on Travis Kelce belonged on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, yeah. He got slammed.
He got apologized.
He did get apologized.
That was something else. All right.
James is a beast. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Somebody was bound to do it eventually. Travis Kelce.
Kelce's not a small dude.
No, yeah.
No, he's not.
He trucks over a lot of people. So
that's a different breed right there.
All right.
Real talk.
Absolutely. Patriots versus the Steelers. You guys want to pass it? You want to play it, or you want a one shot it?
I'll pass it.
I mean,
We can
I'll do
we can
either.
play this one.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
We can play this one for sure.
Kick us off, Sahe.
It's just about what the Steelers are going to do at quarterback. You know? That's what they got. Like, I was listening to Stephen A. earlier today. He was making some good point. We talk about how bad the offense is for the Steelers, but they got playmakers out there. They got Claypool, they got Johnson, they got Najee Harris, Freiermuth. They got some guys out there, but I just don't think Mitch Trubisky is the answer right now. I think it's got to be Kenny Pickett. Get the young boy in there. You got a great defense, and you hate to squander it away with a silly ass offense. All right, you didn't score a touchdown until the fourth quarter. You can't let that happen. The good thing about it for the Steelers, though, is everybody else in the division lost, right? So they're still in it. And on the opposite side, good on Mac Jones, right? He's throwing touchdown passes, building chemistry with that offense, and they're back on track. So it was a good game to see where both teams are at. I think this is one of those quiet rivalries, Steelers and Patriots. You know, AFC matchup that's always interesting to watch and close. So. Yeah, Steelers got to figure out their quarterback situation. That's what I came away with this game.
I said pass, but that's because I don't think these teams are worth anything this year. Just to be honest, all right, they both have quarterback issues. The Steelers, if they're going to run Najee Harris, what was he, 15 for 49 or something like that?
Yeah, very pedestrian.
I mean, their offense should be leaning on him and moving the ball with their running back. That's just not going to get it done. Everyone doesn't trust Mitchell Trubisky. We all know that he can make some passes, but no one's trusting him with the full. He's not Aaron Rodgers. Y'all can't throw it 49 times and think that you're gonna move the needle. So you need Najee Harris was your bell cow. He didn't do a good job. Your line didn't do a good job. Both these but it still goes back to both these teams. I don't think they're going to the playoffs. So
I bet you both of these teams go to the playoffs.
I doubt it.
Ooh,
man.
Interesting. Well, to me, that is a hot take, man. Because New England's in the same division with Miami.
And the Bills,
and
they're not going anywhere.
And then same thing with the Steelers. They're in the same division with the Ravens right now, who are looking on fire, quite frankly. But anyways, I'll say this. I completely agree with the boys. I love crapping on the Steelers all the time, but I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to say they have some hope that TJ Watt will be out 6 games and not the full year. So I'm just going to say that. I'm being nice, quite frankly. And for New England, you're happy to see 2 coaches that are co-offensive coordinators, and they're doing a terrible job, but New England was able to win in spite of that. So good on New England in that sense, especially against Pittsburgh defense, even without TJ Watt, who's a formidable defense. So, I mean, I wouldn't call this a fun game because this isn't what I would call top level play. This is a bunch of garbage, but there's the good things to take out for both teams, truthfully. For Pittsburgh, it's TJ Watt's coming back. There's nothing else to talk about. TJ Watt's coming back. And for New England, you found a way to win when you have 2 guys who don't know how to coach offense. So take what you can get.
Absolutely. Is Steve Belichick Bill's brother or cousin? Son. And he approved that mullet. I just
he probably put it in the contract. He had to have a mullet.
That mullet was
gotta look tough over here.
It was distracting, man. I'm a sports podcaster. I gotta watch this game. I can't be staring at the mullet all game. All right, here we go. Let's go to Panthers Giants. Giants came out on top 19-16. You guys want to pass one shot at or play it?
Pass that one. Boring.
All right. Boring. The
No, hold on. You said the Browns and the Jets?
No, that's coming up next.
Coming now.
Okay.
JTS Jets took down the Browns 31-30.
We gotta talk about
it. You guys want to play it? I can already tell. All right, who wants it?
Whoever wants it first.
Flacco's back, guys.
There we go. Hollywood Joe.
Flacco is back. That's all I got. I thought that whole series was, along with some of the other games in football on Sunday, you looked away and then you came back and then your eyes popped. You're like, what? Wait, what? That just happened? I mean, shouts out to the Jets. And what's going on with the Browns? Is that 2 weeks in a row?
No, they won last one. They won a nail biter. They barely won.
Okay, that's right.
They barely won. Honestly, they were about to lose it to Baker Mayfield because he came to play in the fourth quarter. But here's what I'll say: both the Browns games have been like a coin flip on winning and losing. That's literally what happened. For the Jets, though, you got to be excited if you're the Jets. Things have been going terrible. You haven't been looking good. The Ravens, you look very anemic. And here comes Joe Flacco, like it's 2014, tossing 4 tubs, 300 yards. He's got 600 yards on the season. Would you have guessed that the 72-year-old Joe Flacco was going to pull this out against the Browns defense and Myles Garrett? I didn't see it coming, man. Joe Flacco, baby. That's all I got to say. Joe Flacco.
72 years old. I didn't realize he turned 72. I thought he was still 71.
Yeah, no. Something like that. Oh, no, he's my age. Holy shit, I should. Whoa. Wait a second.
Matt Ryan.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
Wait a second. 1985. Wait. No. He's a young, strapping buck.
There we go.
He's a young, ripe age of 37. Excuse me. Oof.
Sahe, what about you, man? The Jets knocked out the Browns 31-30, just barely.
I want to counter Richie's point about if you're the Jets, you're excited. I feel like if I'm the Jets, I'm freaking pissed. All right. Because the last 2 seasons, their highest moment has come with their number 1 draft pick, was Zach Wilson, out on injury on the bench. His backup, what was the guy White's name? What was his first name last year?
Mike White.
Mike White came in and was lighting it up and was the talk of the NFL for a week or 2. And then here comes Joe fucking Flacco, old man Flacco, come in, and he leads the troops to a miraculous comeback over the Browns, doing what he did. Yeah, former Super Bowl champ, doing what he did in that run. Even a long pass over the defense. He turned back the clock, looking good. And all the while, the fans in New York are going crazy. And everybody's forgetting about your number 1 draft pick, Zach Wilson, right? These moments are supposed to be happening with him under center. I feel terrible for Zach Wilson. I feel like he's a talented guy. Just got to stay healthy, right? But for the Browns, I know a couple Browns fans. After they're always talking about how it's this their year, but at the same time, it's like we got some shitty coaches, we got the worst coaches, and out of an end of a game like that, where you have it in hand under 2 minutes, and you just scored, right? The game is supposed to be over at that point. Pack it up, send them home. Your onside kicks are supposed to be almost nearly impossible to get because you don't have to run. You don't have the other team getting a run and start no more. They stand still, the ball's kicked, then they run, right? So it's supposed to be dead. It's like a lack of focus. And how do you let a guy get that deep on you? You know what I'm saying? For the touchdown before the onside kick. It's just a whole bunch of mess going on up there. They gave Deshaun Watson 230 guaranteed. Come on, what are we doing in Cleveland, man? It's just like you got such a promised like franchise and team right now, and you're just shitting it down the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Literally.
Hey, oh, come on. It's the Browns.
And then you got that goofy ass logo in the center that you just, come on. Yeah, that you just debuted, and that's how you go in the debut on some shit like that.
That's how it should be, because it should have been the dog from the get-go. That they deserve everything that's coming to them for putting that elf on there. It is what it is. They deserve it.
A little elf cursed them.
I wish we were back in the WWSU studio so I could drop the clip of "You are a factory of sadness." Yeah, Cleveland not looking so good. Okay, so let's pop 1 or 2 more. We got about 10 minutes till the break. We had the Jaguars shutting down the Colts 24-0. You guys want to pass it, play it, or one-shot it?
It depends on y'all, but man,
it's embarrassing.
Man. I don't know what to say. I don't even know what to say about Indiana. I didn't see this game, but I didn't even know what to say about that.
Actually, I want to play this now. I changed my mind. My mind.
Play it.
We talked about this last week.
Yeah.
We talked about this last week. This is what we call karma. Jim Irsay had been dragging Carson Wentz. I talked for this last week. I don't care. We're doing it again. Dragging Carson Wentz through all the mud, all the slander, which he deserves a lot of it, but all the slander. And my wife just got home. And it was insane to watch that. And then you see how bad Matt Ryan and the Colts have been. They talk about how anemic the offense is with Wentz. 24-0. You have the best running back in the league. Can't you do anything? This is one of the most embarrassing lopsided. They always lose to Jacksonville, so this is like not new, but it's just pathetic. 24-0. Like, I was so excited about the Colts' future, and now after I see this game, I don't even want to watch another game.
I'm kind of used to Matt. Remember, Matt Ryan was our quarterback for years. Matt Ryan is very capable of these kind of games. Like, very capable. So it's not. I don't know. It's not a surprise to me, but it was surprising that the Jaguars defense was able to do that to me.
All right. And Sahe, what did you make of the Colts getting shut out by the Jaguars?
I'm looking at the box score, and it's just like, my God, we had fumbles. Nobody lost a fumble, so that's good. That's good. At least nobody lost a fumble. Matt Ryan, 3 interceptions. He was sacked 5 times. Trevor Lawrence on the other side didn't throw an interception, or he wasn't sacked at all. Matt Ryan had a QBR of 6.3. 6.3. On the other side, Trevor Lawrence had a 95.3. Jacksonville ran the ball 37 times compared to Indianapolis 13. There you go. You got to rush the ball 13 times in the first quarter. I get it. You got Matt Ryan in there, and he's a veteran guy, but they're treating him like he's damn Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, or he's a little bit of an upgrade over what's his face at the Carson Wentz, right? He's more, and I'm giving them that because he's more experienced, right? You got to give that team over to Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines, right? Hines, the other talented freak they got out there. I just think the coaches and the GM, they don't have any idea what they're doing. They were so spoiled with Peyton Manning all those years. And Peyton Manning being able to mask all their problems. Now they don't know what to do. They're paying like 8 quarterbacks right now that's not on their roster, big time money. It's unacceptable. Come out and tie the first week, and then you lose to Jacksonville. Jacksonville might not win another game after this. This is embarrassing. I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought Matt Ryan was going to be better than that. It's just so surprising.
Man, well, there you have it. We want to know what you think, folks. Let us know in the comments. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, I'm sure this is going to be a play. Dolphins and Ravens. We'll talk about that and the rest of what's going on. We got 2 games playing right now as we're recording. So a lot going on in the NFL, a lot going on right here on The Wire. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Wire Sports Podcast. That's right, folks. You can just go find us. You see the link in the description. Go click it and listen to the shows you want to listen to. We'll tell you more about it a little bit later. Let's dive back into the NFL. Fellas, the Dolphins, they beat the Ravens 42-38. We want to pass it, we want to play it, or we want to one-shot it?
I think we should just pass.
Oh, let's just pass it.
Pass this one.
Who wants to start?
Lamar Jackson is a beast.
Good job. Like to start.
I mean, he literally could have done nothing better. You had 300 plus passing yards. You had 100 plus rushing yards with a touchdown. Like, what else could, for someone who doesn't have a contract? This is a bit. The Ravens, the price is going to do nothing but go up. The price is not going to do anything but go up. And he's banking on himself to stay healthy. If he can stay healthy throughout this year and continue to play the way he's playing, you just mismanaged your franchise. You just mismanaged your franchise. You took a chance on yourself and you lost, and you're going to have to pay and then hope he doesn't get hurt the way he plays. But shout out to Tua for doing this thing.
Quick public service announcement. I'll trade, Najee Harris, Mitch Trubisky and a player of your choice
for Lamar
to bring him in.
Okay, I was about to say, if you're Baltimore, you say sure for TJ Watt.
Yeah,
like you gotta have that in there.
No,
that'd be the only way. That'd be the only way. Again, TJ's an incredible athlete, but this is a quarterback-driven league. Lamar 6-1 in his 2 games, like 580 yards, and we all talk about the joke and the meme, even with Baltimore like fans, is that's our running back. Because then he throws 300 yards, but he's the running back. They always talk about like a joke about that. So he's incredible. It was very disrespectful. I'm piggybacking off Trey. It is disrespectful to offer this guy like $100 million guaranteed when you saw Russell Wilson's contract, when you saw Deshaun Watson's contract, things of that nature. Yes, the total bulk, and that's why it's annoying, is they're trying to make the narrative that he turned down like $200 million contract. Well, it's not about that. It's about the guaranteed money. And it's disrespectful for an MVP of this league, who's easily on par with Deshaun Watson and easily on par with these guys like Russ. I'm just being honest. All right, you got to look at it as it is. Yes, there's Super Bowls, and that kind of throws things into it. But the bottom line is, how many quarterbacks would you take over Lamar Jackson, honestly? And we don't have to have that answer. The point is he's a top 5 talent in quarterback, period. He has a unique skill set, and the guy wants to win, and he puts in the work. He does whatever you ask of him. He never complains. He does things the right way. We don't need to discuss about all the quarterbacks who bring the drama inside and outside of the field. And you have this incredible talent, and you slap him in the face like that. They're going to pay for it, to Trey's point. And because it's not going to be a $225 million contract. At this point, the way he's playing, it's going to be a $320 million contract. And it's going to cripple their franchise, to Trey's point. I would like to give a quick shout out on the other side because Lamar got his love. Tua. Everyone, tank for Tua was what everyone wanted. Tank for Tua. Then Tua's terrible. And then Tua just exploded. Now, I'm not saying he's going to do this every game, because the important thing is 2 wide receivers, 10 receptions each, over 150 yards, and I think they each got 2 touchdowns. I think that's the first time in NFL history right there. So you got 2 incredible wide receivers. I drafted Jalen for that reason, because I had a feeling Tyreek is going to get doubled later. So that's my fantasy guy right there. If you don't have him, take him now. Thank you, babe. And sorry, I got miso soup. And so Tua has been incredible. Remember when we even talked about it, and there's been jokes and memes about the most catchable football, right? The most catchable football. That's what Tyreek was talking about. And then he's also talking about a wheelbarrow for his coach because of how big his nuts are. And he's just said the same thing about Tua now. This was a crazy comeback. This is something where we got to talk about it the same way with Cleveland. Baltimore screwed this up. It should not have happened. Regardless, they were in a command. Like, if you were to look at the third quarter and then the beginning of the fourth quarter, you would have never expected what happened to happen. I think it was 24 plays and they scored 3 touchdowns. 24 plays. This is what people were talking about, the hype with this Miami Dolphins team. And we saw it for at least a game. And why Mike got hired as the head coach. He was the offensive coordinator for the 49ers. He's very creative. You have 2 of the fastest wide receivers in the league. This is going to be a possible scary offense for sure. They have a very solid defense in general. And so this is that team to look out for. This was a statement game to me. Yes, it was a comeback that shouldn't have happened. But just to see that explosiveness, just to see the things we love to watch. We love to watch 60-yard bombs. What's more fun than that? That's what football is, Nothing's more exciting than that long chuck and then it happens. So if you're a Dolphins fan, you got to be excited about this. If you're a Ravens fan, what more can you ask from Lamar anyways? It was incredible to watch his first half. I think he was 17 of 18, something insane like that. He wasn't as good as our boy against Ohio State, but I mean, Lamar did okay. So.
Hey, I'm going to give the Daquan Finn update every week just to see what plays. And then we'll talk about it when he gets signed with the Buckeyes. Sahe, what did you make of the Dolphins-Ravens game?
Yeah, 2 quarterbacks balling out, right? As a game first started and as it's going on, and Lamar Jackson is doing his thing. He's running for over 100 yards. He's throwing for multiple touchdowns. He's looking like the guy that should be paid $230 million guaranteed, right? And all of a sudden, the Miami Dolphins, they stormed their way back, right? Baltimore, they don't have a shitty defense. Their defense is pretty highly respected, and you know what I'm saying? They love it. But Tyreek Hill, 11 receptions, 190 yards. Jalen Waddle, 11 receptions, 171 yards. All right, both 2 touchdowns apiece. Now, let me bring y'all into the conspiracy corner. All right. I feel like maybe the management and the upper brass over in Baltimore is like, hey, Lamar could get his stats, but he ain't going to be shit without wins. So if he's out there balling too hard, you know what I'm saying, screw up a couple calls, let the other team come back. 28 damn points in the fourth quarter. Come on now. Did everybody on their damn defense just all of a sudden get hurt? Everybody on their defense just was like, all right, it's my time to clock out and we're just going to sit on the bench. How do you let a team go off like that in the fourth quarter?
They got tired.
You've been holding them down all game. Come on, man. It should be, you got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle out there. It should be 2 high safeties at, you know what I'm saying, out back at all points. You're going to have to dink and dunk the ball downfield. You can't let a team like that get junk plays. That's like football 101. That's football 101.
You know what makes me mad?
What's that?
I didn't mean to cut you off. They were all underthrown. That's how wide open they are. They could wait for the ball. Because to be honest with you, all those balls that he threw behind them, they were all underthrown. Like by a lot. They had to wait for the ball to come to them and then they could go in.
They did.
So
but when you're running 4-2s, you have time to do that.
Hey, I'm going to say this right now. Lamar Jackson ain't playing for Baltimore next year. He is out of there. They want him out of there. It's obvious, sir.
Here we go.
They would have paid him by now. And
this is the best. This is the best one ever.
Yeah, and their defense is pulling stunts like that. You don't give up 28 points in a quarter to lose the game. You're up 35-14. Come on, man.
Sahe, this is your best conspiracy yet. I love this one.
I love it.
Hey,
I love it.
I love it. Because you're right. I don't make sense.
It does seem sus. I didn't think about it until you said it, but it does seem strange.
These are professionals.
These are professionals.
Lamar Jackson out there balling his ass off. And quarterbacks, it's all about wins. It's not about stats. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to get paid off stats. He's going to get paid off wins and MVPs, and they hating on him. They're trying to move on.
Do a lean to get that public product placement in there with the trash can behind you.
Oh,
yeah, letting the conspiracy out. We gotta see if we can see the eye. Okay, let's keep on moving. The Buccaneers. A lot of people were talking about the Saints might have the answer. They did not. Buccaneers 20-10. You guys want to pass it, play it, or one shot it?
We gotta play it.
Play it.
Really? I'm scared that I might have some Tom Brady slander, so I don't necessarily feel comfortable playing this one, to be honest with you.
Why don't you one shot it to start us off? The other guys can play it.
Tom needs Giselle back.
I mean, he's looking weak without her. I don't disagree.
He yelling at people for no damn reason.
Throwing tablets again?
He throwing he throwing temper tantrums right here. We know what's popping. He
called Lattimore a bitch. You could see it. You could read it off his lips.
He needs Giselle. He done got his best receiver tossed out for a game. He throwing temper tantrums. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying.
Man.
I got to go on the opposite side. This is why I wanted to talk about it. Mike Evans hates Lattimore. I know Sahe can talk. I don't know what it is, but this man hates Lattimore. I was laughing so hard because he's done this 3 times now, where Lattimore does something and Evans just runs up and shoves him or punches him or knocks him every time from behind Lattimore's back. He always pushes him from behind. So I don't know
This
why
time
he
was in
hates this
front.
man. Okay, you're right. No, this time was in front. You're right. This time
But from around
playoff
Tom,
Lenny was around him,
Yeah.
and then he came up and pushed him. But this man hates Lattimore, and I'm all about it. I don't know why, but it was just so funny. Like, this is the third time in like 4 years this man has like shoved Lattimore to the ground. Because he's a big guy. He's a big guy. So I don't know if Lattimore like said something about like Evan's mom or his sister or his wife. I don't know what's going on, but this man hates Lattimore, and I really that's the story I want to find out about. What did Lattimore say or do to Mike Evans to rile him up this bad over the last 5 years? Because it is, I've never seen this. We need a 30.
Like every time I saw him, it was on site.
Right.
That's
Unfortunately, I gotta see him 5 times a week.
like that's what I really want. I want Lattimore to come to the Bucks next year. I really want that drama. I want to know on the 30 for 30. I want it on the Hard Knock special. I want all of the smoke, man. What is going on between these two guys? What is this? But the more important thing is the Buccaneers won, regardless. It was a tough game. Tom Brady is getting a little crazy. I'm with Trey on this one. I don't know.
I mean, one thing that Skip Bayless always says, he calls Tom Brady Psycho Tom. All right. That's just who he is, ultra competitor. He's going to get fired up like that when things aren't going the way that they should. But I feel like the real shining, glaring golden nugget about this game was the defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Second week in a row. If it wasn't for a ticky-tack pass interference call that gave New Orleans the ball in like the red zone, and they scored a touchdown off of that, they would have scored 3 points, and it would have been the second week in a row the Buccaneers has held somebody scoreless after their first drive. Because the Cowboys came down their first drive, looked smooth, kicked a field goal. Saints came down their first drive, looked smooth, kicked a field goal. This is all teams are getting. They're getting that first scripted drive. After that, it's a curtains. And this is what I feel like is going to carry Tampa Bay through to the Super Bowl this year because of this lights out defense. They just look absolutely phenomenal. You had a team in the Cowboys last week that was for the last couple of years the number one offense when Dak Prescott is playing. All right, you got a team in New Orleans that can light up the scoreboard anytime, any day. But New Orleans, their defense looked good too. They got something. They might make the playoffs with that defense, but maybe not with Jameis Winston looking like the Jameis Winston of old. You know, the team gets down, he starts pressing, and he's going to throw interceptions. That's the knock on Jameis, and it just looked the exact same yesterday that it did early in his career, and it's kind of sad to see him throw 3 interceptions back to back like that. But he's a competitor, so he's kind of got that Tom Brady thing, but kind of in a different way. He's going to try to. He could Superman every ball, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a classic rivalry, that fight. They've done it 3 times already. Like, shoot, man. Like Richie said, it was so funny. They showed the 3 clips of the previous interactions, and I just started laughing so hard. Like, that's one of like the funniest things like in football, like I see, because I didn't expect it, and then you look back and like, this has happened the exact same way 3 other times. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like funny as hell. Those guys they need a podcast or something when their career's done. You know what I'm saying? Call it like round 4.
We gotta know.
I gotta know. I swear my man stepped on his all-white Air Force Ones and didn't say sorry.
Right.
Now he gotta get it.
Yeah, Mike Evans wear black Air Forces in his off time for sure, because he don't let nothing slide.
All right. The Detroit Lions took out the Washington Commanders. Do you guys want to pass that, play it, or one shot it?
I'll one shot it for sure.
One shot.
MCDC turning them boys around and getting the Lions a win early in the season. against Carson Wentz, who's got the Commanders looking good. They were whooping up on the Commanders at one point. It wasn't even close. It was like 22-0 at one point. The line, I didn't really watch any of the game or any of the highlights. I just seen the score here and there, and I'm just like, wow, the Lions are doing it. It's against Carson Wentz, but this is promising, you know?
Just slammed her. All right. Who's one shots next?
I'll do a quick one.
Oh, go ahead.
I drafted Swift, love him, had him last year. Amon-Ra St. Brown. To me, this year is kind of like Debo's last year. They're using him as kind of a gadget running wide receiver that gets some plays in like that. And he's a phenomenal talent. And the sky's the limit. And well, technically Jared Goff is the limit right now, but he's having a great start to the season. And it's great to see Detroit. As we already talked about, Campbell's a great person. I'd run through a wall for him. Like, he just seems so motivating. And it's cool to see Detroit be competitive. So,
little known fact: I was actually born in Detroit, but
I knew it.
I don't know. I guess it could be the Hard Knocks. We did I saw the Hard Knocks and I watched it and I loved it for the Detroit Lions for whatever reason. So I'm low key just rooting for them. Like, everything about them, the way that they put their coaching staff together, the way that they coach, at least from what we saw, what they're trying to do, the coaches they're bringing in. I saw a clip on Instagram how they were hyping up the lineman who stepped in. He was
the guard who stepped in. He was cut
Skipper.
First.
Mm-hmm. He was cut. Yeah, Skipper came in and they showed that pancake block that he put on some linebacker. Like, that was dope. So I mean, if they win, I hope they win that division.
It'd be cool to see.
It would be really nice to see, and especially for that city. That city's been hit pretty hard.
Then we'll have to revisit the Stafford conversation.
I'm telling you, I've been telling y'all for years. Stafford is legit. Listen.
All right. The 49ers did their thing to the Seahawks 27-7. You guys want to pass, player one shot?
Well, I'll say one shot. That handsome guy, Jimmy G, is starting again. So.
All right.
Yeah, that didn't take long.
Shouts out to Jimmy G's agent for getting him that contract for every win he gets.
Every win he gets, and
every win he gets is $100 million, and then every time he starts for the season, it's an automatic $250K.
Yeah.
Or 100,000. Excuse me.
400. Yeah, it's $400K per start. And it was funny because you could see San Francisco is desperate to trade him. And it's funny because even in spite of their unwillingness to keep this guy for some reason, they're lucky that nobody ended up biting, because look what happened to Trey. I think he broke his foot or broke his ankle. I mean, he's going to be out. So
he's done.
Yeah, he's done. So they're lucky, they have Jimmy G. And it's such a weird position if you're Jimmy G, right? Where everyone's basically spit and slapped in your face, but at least you got that good contract. So now you're just riding high.
And next year,
yeah,
he's going to be worth, who knows?
Who knows? So
they're printing money for quarterbacks out here.
Yeah. So he's, this is the Jimmy G story, quite frankly. So for Jimmy G, he's rolling high. He got them the win. It looked like they were going to lose again. He steps in. They win the game. So good on Jimmy G.
All right. Sahe, 49.
Yeah, I'll just echo everything everybody else said. Like, man, Jimmy G, that did not take long. I was getting tired of that argument on SportsCenter all day, every day. Trey Lance is, if he doesn't start winning, then it's going to be Jimmy G's time. What do you think? Well, the 49ers are in a bad spot because they got this, you know what I'm saying? So now it's over. Jimmy G's team, let's go.
All right.
That's right. Mediocre quarterback. Let's go.
Unlike Daquan Finn over there in Toledo, the Rams, Falcons, the Super Bowl champions, got the Falcons only 31-27. You guys want to pass it, play it, or one shot it?
We'll give this to Trey.
I'm passing.
Great.
I'm talk about it.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
There's some salt.
Then we pass.
All right. We'll pass it on up. So let's talk about the Rams. No, just kidding. The Raiders and the Cardinals. Cardinals got this one 29-23. Another close game. You guys want to pass it? You want to play it, or you want to one shot it?
I'm down to play it or one shot it. I don't want to pass, but we should at least do something with it.
I'll say this: it's like two teams that can't get over the hump or playing each other, and it's just like, man, it's just like the Raiders never have that signature win. You know what I'm saying? They're always losing to the other teams that can't get over the hump. And it's like they lost to the Bengals last year. The Bengals were never able to get over the hump. And then they beat the Raiders and propelled them to the Super Bowl. That could have been the Raiders last year playing in the Super Bowl. The Cardinals just came off an ass whooping, all right? And they were looking down, and then all of a sudden they climb back and the Raiders fall off. And it's just like, man, will that Raiders ever pull it together? They got Deontay Adams. They got a strong running game. They got a good defensive line. They need to do some soul searching for sure. Very disappointing.
I'm going to go off Sahe. We'll let Trey take this afterwards, of course, because this is Trey's team. For me, it's just disappointing. And we're going to talk about another disappointing team where absolutely underperforming. They're 0-2, fourth in their division, and they made pure upgrades in the offseason. So it's kind of baffling that this start happened this way. I mean, it's kind of not too, because they have a new head coach. So in all fairness, you're working things out. But it's just disappointing. Like when I see the Raiders and what I saw what happened with Miami, like that's my expectation. Offensively, they can hang with anybody. And, I'm not going to throw Renfrow under the bus. Quite frankly, after he got hit the first time, in the overtime, they should have set him down and let him, get his bell back. And because of what happened with that fumble, I don't really blame him. He was clearly discombobulated. He went for a spin, got blasted, ball came out, they lost the game. But I would say this is more coaching because this roster's talent is there. Carr is a fantastic quarterback. You have arguably, and most people would say, the number one wide receiver in football. You got a top 3 tight end. You got that slot guy, Renfrow, like we just talked about. You have all the tools you need to succeed. So I'm really going to say this is on coaching and this is on poor game planning. And what Sahe said is so fact. You had 2 teams that can't ever get it right. One of them had to lose. I'm just shocked it ended up being the Raiders between the 2. I was so talent-wise, they're not comparable. So this is purely coaching in my opinion. And watching that game, it was just... I'm just shocked that the Raiders are looking mediocre and pedestrian when we talked about in the preseason. I thought they're playoff bound for sure, and I thought they're a contender in the AFC. I'm not saying they're not, but this is not the start you want. This is going to be a tough hole to get out of with that AFC West, and then even getting into a wild card with the AFC North teams, et cetera, AFC East teams. This is going to be rough for them. 0-2 is not what you want. And I think this coaching, it needs to really improve drastically. And their next game isn't any easier. They play Tennessee. So they're going to have to get it together at Tennessee. They need to figure this out now.
Trey?
I can't say too much more. Both of you guys are right. It's more about coaching than it is anything else because it's little mistakes that they're making in management that they're making. It's the small things that you got to do to make sure that you're consistent enough to win the games like this. A lot of this stuff that is happening right now would win them games instead of lose them. And it's 1 or 2 plays or 1 or 2 penalties. It's not anything crazy. So if they want to be in the division that they're in, they're going to have to be more consistent and clean it up. They basically need to be the old Bill Belichick Patriots and not beat themselves. You got to just wait it out until your defense, until the other team makes mistakes for you. You just capitalize on them. In the division that they're in, there's 4 legit playoff teams. They need to figure it out and fast because they're not going to be, especially in that division, you can't take too many losses.
All right. Well, Russell Wilson and the Broncos hosted the Cowboys out of Houston. Just kidding. The Texans. 16-9 Broncos. You guys want to pass it, play it, or one shot it?
I'll do a one shot.
Okay.
Or play. It's looking pretty bad. Denver, the fans are starting to turn already. They're booing Russell Wilson. They're counting. They're literally counting because they had a delay a game. So they're counting to tell the coach, pick a play so they wouldn't get a second delay a game. He has been, honestly, we want to talk about bad coaching. You know, Denver is the epitome right now of bad coaching. This is a team we talked about that had playoff expectations. They bring in Russell Wilson. That's that missing piece. And they're struggling week in and week out. They lost to Seattle, and they barely beat the Texans. I mean, again, it's not like the ship's sailing and they're out of luck. But this is not the start you want with Russell Wilson. He's supposed to be cooking, and it's not a lot of anything going on in Denver right now. This is a disappointing game to watch, and it was embarrassing watching that. You know, those fans have to count to make sure they don't get a second delay game. It was oof.
I'm gonna say, it's not the. I think that's Russell Wilson. He's a veteran quarterback in this league. We all consider Russell Wilson to be the top quarterback in this league. If he's gonna hold off to delay to see what the defense is doing and see if they make any shifts at the end, then he needs to clock manage way better. And that's strictly him at the line making those reads. He's taking way too long to do that because they cut the mics off at like what? At a certain time, like at
after like 15, 20 seconds.
15.
When it gets to like 15 seconds.
When it gets to 15, it cuts.
Yeah, so all of the holding off until the defense makes a move is on him. He's gonna have to figure that out. 14 for 31. Nope, that's not gonna cut it. He's gonna have to be way better than that. That's less than 50% from the quarterback I just paid. And he's got the weapon, so he's got no excuse. He's used to not. But if we're gonna blame the line, he had a shitty line in Seattle for forever. It's not like he's not used to playing with a shitty line. So he's just got to be better.
I mean, I'm gonna say this: it's not like the Broncos are like a great team. They had to trade a lot of pieces to get Russ. It's a new system. They've got talent, but it's unproven talent, right? Especially you got Cortland Sutton, you got Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler. You got an older, kind of almost out of his prime running back, Melvin Gordon.
Yep.
You have the talent, but I feel like this team isn't going to be a team like the Bills or like the 07 Patriots where they're just winning a bunch of games. They're going to win games, and they're going to be a team that slides into that 6th, 7th playoff spot. And then once you get to the playoffs, they could beat anybody. That's when you're really going to see Russ cooking. I just think it's too early to be down on Russ right now. It's a new system. He spent all his time in one place with Pete Carroll. He's still learning the place. Give him a little break. Give him a little time. He's got the win. It was embarrassing last week, week 1. So much pressure, to come in and save the city. He's got the Let's Ride chance, and he's dating Sierra. So there's a lot of expectations on him to do great. But he's gonna get it right. That's Russell Wilson we're talking about. Super Bowl champ.
It's always been known if you date Sierra, there's a lot riding on your football season.
I like how he did that.
All right. We'll probably have to resort to one shot, guys, due to time. I'm so sorry. We had the Bengals Cowboys. Cowboys managed to win over the Cincinnati Bengals 20-17. Go ahead. Whoever wants it.
I'll start, sure. Bengals, we talked about coaching. I was talking about Zach Taylor and his coaching last game. We talked that they weren't ready. This is another example of that. The offense didn't get to play at all in the preseason due to Joe Burrow's injury and surgery, and it's showing. Their offense looks miserable. It looks terrible. And worse than that is the monkey's paw of the offensive line. They had 3 new linemen, and this line looks just actually worse technically than last season. They're on pace, Joe Burrow, to get 110 sacks this season. So that's the problem in Cincinnati. It's that simple. It's truly coaching and their inability to practice together. And you see it on the offensive side of things. Their defense is fine. They're doing okay. It's the offense looks completely pedestrian and anemic. And honestly, Zach Taylor isn't the best coach. I said it last year. He's lucky he got to the Super Bowl that allowed him to, it's going to give him 10 free years in Cincinnati with Mike Brown now. But he's not a great coach. He takes a lot of risky plays. And their offensive line coach needs to be fired. Because this is, you can't bring in 3 guys, and some of them very good. I'm not Collins, overrated, quite frankly, but their guard is fantastic. I was super excited picking him up for Tampa. And I what are you going to say other than at this point you got to say it's partially on the coaching. When you're having the tight end try to block Micah Parsons, what are you doing? What are you doing? We can talk about Burrow should also adjust, but the point is when your scheme is the tight end is going to be blocking Micah Parsons, and that's the design of the play, you're an idiot. You're the worst coach in football. It's that simple. So kudos to Dallas for finding a win without Dak Prescott. And, it is what it is. Cincinnati is in trouble, 0-2. They're just lucky that most of the AFC North actually lost this week as well.
All right. Who wants to one shot it next?
I'll do it.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? The Bengals are who we thought they were, all right? And they're still fucking trash, all right? I'm sorry, Richie. I just had to do it. But no, I just feel like the handling of success right now is for Cincinnati as an organization and culture. They just have to manage that a little bit well. They had a rivalry game week 1 against the Steelers. That was a dogfight game. The Steelers are going to get up for that game. And you had a Cowboys team that had just lost, and they were hungry. They feel like this is their year. Even with Cooper Rush back there, I can't believe they got it done against the Bengals, honestly. But they did. So the Bengals are just going to have to, get back to square one. Find themselves, collect themselves, and push forward. Like we said, it's still early. Everybody else in the AFC North lost, so there's still hope. There's still time. Somebody's just going to have to step up and be consistent in making those plays.
All right, and Trey?
Somebody better do something to save the franchise up in Cincinnati. I don't know if you need to cuss out your linemen. I don't know if you need to fire somebody real quick just to let them know that they mean business. But this is your franchise right here. You don't want an Indianapolis situation where he gets beaten so badly that he just quits. Because quarterbacks like Joe Burrow don't grow on trees.
Exactly.
So if you want to be a successful franchise in Cincinnati with the defense you got and the weapons that you got, you better figure out a way to get your offensive lineman better, or a scheme that allow him to get the ball away from himself so he's not taking these hits. So a lot of it is Joe Burrow's fault because he wants the home runs.
Agreed.
He wants those home runs. He wants to shoot it down the field with Tyler Boyd and Jamar Chase, and he wants that. Understandable, but you need to get in his head. You got 3 seconds to figure that thing out, then it needs to be gone. Don't hold in there. Don't. Because these are some really good defenses. You're really frail, although athletic, and they're really heavy. And you're gonna have another knee injury soon, or a broken rib. You can only take so many car crashes. You taking a car crash every time you get hit in football, especially from the blind side that you not seeing it coming, and you're getting mauled, my guy. You got to figure that out. Like, that's a business decision, if anything else. You want to keep collecting these checks. You want to keep having opportunities to go to the Super Bowl, you have to stay healthy. You're not going to do that by getting hit in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree. They're gelling so much in the playoffs, he thinks every game can be like that. And it's not. Sometimes you got to check it down, and he's not doing it.
100%. All right, we're not going to have time to talk Packers and Bears, but the Packers took that one 27-10. Folks, let us know in the comments your pass play or one shot. Right now, as we're recording, the Eagles are up on the Vikings 24-7, and back to college football. The Buffalo Bills have the Titans 41-7 at the present, with 6 minutes and 39 seconds left in the fourth. This has been the Wire Sports Podcast. We love doing this. We love having you here to listen to us. And we'll be back next Wednesday at 8 and every Wednesday at 8. And just to fully clarify, we're still in season 8. We are the longest running podcast on the network. But hey, we got reached out to. This is cool. And I just thought I had to save it to tell on the air. Only Richie probably remembers the days when we relied on Podbean. The CEO of Podbean messaged me on LinkedIn this week to ask me about H2G radio. So I'm going to reach out to him.
Reach out.
Awesome.
See what's going on.
We'll go back to Podbean.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of success. We went our own route. We've been self-managed ever since. So we'll see what
Podbean. Complimentary free access. We'll come back.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll do it. That will do it. All right. Let's see what else we got. Fridays is Free Mess on Fridays. Fantastic show. They're pulling up on season 2, right? I think we just had the season break there, so they've got
Yeah.
Next.
It's the 2-parter finale is out right now. Come back and check us out.
Oh yeah, check out Free Mess on Fridays. Saturdays, True Crime for the Innocent Mind. It is season 2, and it is gonna be nasty. We're starting with Ted Bundy, season 2 of Andrew and Justin's Actors Breakdown. I'm on the show. I can't even mention it. Starring now Joshua Scales as well as joined the cast. Go check that out. And we'll be diving into some more of the details of acting and what it means to have the career. And then on Mondays, you can still catch the full season's out of the Boss Dog Show. So go check that out. H2G Radio. Everything's in the link tree. We'll see you next week for the Wire Sports Podcast. Live, laugh, love like it's your last, and stay classy, would you?
Jay.